Hey everybody, and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host, Gina Parker. I'm here with my co-host, Ashley Jones.
Heyo.
So, Ashley, what have you been into this week?
I haven't been into a whole lot this week, to be honest. I am still watching The Bear, which is good. It's kind of my main show right now. Yeah, that's kind of it. I haven't really dove into much else because I have been super, super, super duper busy. How about you?
Wow, my mind was just cleared of all things. High Potential is a new mystery show I'm watching. Caitlin Olsen is a cleaning lady with a high IQ who helps the police. That's fun.
Where's that on?
ABC and
Hmm.
Hulu next day, I think.
Okay.
Since we've solved Brooch Mystery, we finished
Solved.
that one. There's like three big soapy storylines coming up in 1984, and I'm gonna they kind of I think reveal themselves around in and around the same times. I'm not sure, so I'll just give you a question a week. We can rotate what the questions are.
Okay.
So this one for this week is a character that we have been talking about, and like one who we'll continue to talk about for a while, is going to die and never come back. So
Hmm.
they're dead, dead, dead. And so the question is, which character is going to die and how do they die?
Oof. Die and never come back. Now, I have to ask, is this death related to any of the storylines that we have already spoken about?
I'll say yes.
Okay. The only person I can think about right now, because it's like it was a main storyline that we talked about and it really hit home, the mother of the child who died in the fire,
Donna.
Donna. So that's my first guess, that she's so despondent and no one is supporting her grief and everyone's telling her to just get over the death of her child. So somehow she is the one that goes away and never returns.
Okay. Hey, Sadie Teal. We were just doing the what are you consuming this week? So if you have something.
Honestly, what I've been consuming is a bunch of backlogged projects that have been weighing on me so hard. So I make videos and I right now have four projects that I get so excited to start, but then have a horrible time executing. So my brain is just filled with a bunch of stuff that I need to like fix up. I've been reading a little bit. I just started this series. It's called Shards of Earth. And it's a really
Mm.
cool sci book that's basically about this like alien race that designs planets, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I started editing a video with this one performer out here called Danielle Ate the Sandwich.
Oh, we're discussing November 15th, November 28th, November 30th, December 12th, and December 19, 1983. I bet these soapy deaths don't compare to Passions at all.
Oh man, that was a wild show. So you watch Fashions as well?
Not religiously, but I did watch it. I mean,
Tabitha were probably my favorite. And Luis and the orangutan, like that still sticks in my head. Luis was, I don't know, hanging around the orangutan. I don't even remember the details of the plot, but we saw a bunch of dream sequences from the perspective of the orangutan about how much they love Luis. They'd be in different scenarios. I think at one point I have the image of the orangutan dressed in a nurse's outfit and just like comforting Luis. And I don't remember the plot at all, but I feel like that show is so filled with so many visual moments that will never leave, which is maybe a good or bad thing. I don't know.
they're taking up space rent free.
So we'll start with old Tad. So cheating on Liza with her mother. So he went on vacation with her mother. Her mother was buying him gifts, like necklaces and stuff. And so he's been sleeping with both of them. Liza just lost her virginity to him and he started sexing her mom too.
Wow.
And then I guess mom figured out he was sleeping with the daughter and decided to end things with him because she's like, oh, you're actually like my daughter's in love with you and are having sex with her too. So he tries to blackmail her at that point and be like, if you don't want your husband to find out about us, give me money. And she declines.
Oh, Tad.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Uh
rascal.
huh. And she's like, it'll be bad for you too. I'm just not going to pay you and just hope you keep your mouth shut. But Liza overheard Tad talking to his best friend Bob about it. And
He's like
and
bragging.
well, it's like, why did you break up with Liza? I was cheating on her. She's nearby, looking for him all around town.
With her.
Yeah, and then she finds his gold chain in her furniture at her house, and she's like, "Well, he didn't lose it with me, so must have been rolling around with my mom." So she's not doing well. So this starts a thing with Liza of she starts having sex with a bunch of random men in bars because she's just spiraling out.
I'm sure they portrayed that really well in the 80s, that type of plot line where it's like, oh, she lost herself in all these random men.
Yeah, and they did show a clip with her mom where her mom's like, okay, so you're going to hotels with these guys, so you don't want your dad to find out. You're not doing it in front of me, so it's not to hurt me. Are you trying to hurt yourself? Like, what's going on with you? And Liza's not in a place to discuss her feelings, understandably so.
How did they ever like go back and have like Liza confront her mom?
Yeah, Liza knows, and she's like, shoot. Opal, she's the one who's been doing video dating. She met a banker. She went off to marry him and left town during these episodes, but not before conspiring her daughter. So Opal is Jenny's mom, and Jenny was dating Greg Nelson. Greg and Jenny broke up after he fell off a catwalk trying to comfort her, as you do, and hurt his back and was placed in a wheelchair. He pushed her away because he didn't want her stuck with someone in a wheelchair, which is very ableist thinking, but okay. And Jenny thought he was pushing her away because he blamed her for the accident because he was running after her when he fell. And so they broke up, but are still madly in love with each other. Jenny was dating her modeling partner, Tony Barclay, as a publicity stunt made by her manager. Jenny was not comfortable with this, but her manager's like, it's a good idea. Basically, everyone's conspiring to keep Greg and Jenny apart because her manager, Olga, wants Tony and Jenny to marry for the publicity of their campaign. And Enid Nelson doesn't think Jenny's good enough for Greg because they're like high society people. And so they keep trying to get together, but everyone's keeping them apart. Eventually, Greg starts dating Amanda, who's played by Amanda Bierce from Married with Children. And Amanda finds Jenny's note to Greg saying, I will stop this wedding if you still love me. But Enid stops Amanda from telling Greg the truth about how Jenny feels about him. Dr. Lynn Carson, and she's the first lesbian character in daytime history.
Nice.
She doesn't get to do much. This other character has a crush on her, and she's like, you're straight, you just have a crush on your lesbian friend. But that's about all she gets to do in like 8 months of being on the show. But history.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
tried. I mean, that's brave,
Mm-hmm.
especially in that era.
Mhm.
That is the good thing about this show. Like they did another thing earlier this year where they were trying to explain the Heimlich maneuver to people, which I guess was new at the time.
Did they write it into like some fun plot where it's like, oh no, we have to save him, and then they stopped and did the instructions for the whole audience?
Well, they had someone get saved, and then they're like, "But how did you do it?" Well, I put my hands around their stomach, did the. And so that was very new at the time and probably maybe helped people. Who knows? They had like 10 million viewers, so, you know.
At least like 5 or 6 lives that
Mm,
1 second.
yeah, there you go. Then we have Mark, and Mark's only thing is that he's returned from rehab after being addicted to cocaine, but he's homeless, so Erica's like, you can stay at my mom's house, which is very funny. Just go stay with my mom. Her mom was like, sure, of course, just volunteering someone else's house.
Oh yeah, my mom would not be as receptive.
Well, Erica's gonna Erica. So then we have Jesse and Angie. Angie put their baby up for adoption without telling Jesse. And so Jesse's like, I want my baby. They get back together after months apart and they end up basically kidnapping their baby back. And everyone's like, this is kind of a bad idea because you're now wanted by the law and there was legal protections that if you regretted putting your baby up for adoption, you could get it back. So
They
now you're
put that there was a legal alternative they could have gone for.
yeah, but they didn't feel like they could trust their parents, so they didn't hear that information because Jessie felt Angie's parents pressured her into giving their baby Frankie up, who's very cute. Jessie didn't even know she was pregnant until after she had given the baby up for adoption. They were married. And so she found out she was pregnant, asked him for a divorce. They went months without seeing each other. She put the baby up for adoption. They got in the same room again, realized they did love each other and want to raise their baby. And so they got back together, kidnapped the baby. It was a bad idea, but they didn't know any better. So they sent a friend in pretending she also wanted a baby to buy a baby for $10,000. And she happened to overhear the secretary say, oh, you've got that baby over at the Joneses' house. And they're like, okay, let's go to the Joneses' house, take that baby. And so now the police are after them, but they get remarried. But Jesse pawns his mother's wedding ring to buy medicine for their baby because they're poor and on the run.
Mm.
So that's where we leave them. One of the first African American super couples in all of daytime history. Very beloved, Jesse and Angie. Another
Nice.
good thing that came out of the show. Less
Yeah.
racism.
Yay, less racism.
Angela, you and our son, Frankie, are the most important people in the world to me. And I promise you, in front of God and all these people here, Vera, that I'm gonna be the best lover, husband, father, and the hardest worker for you and Frankie to give you the life that you deserve.
Jesse, you and Frankie are my life, too. I promise in front of God and our good friend Vera to love you forever. And I promise to be the best wife and mother I know how to be. Furthermore, I don't care what kind of work you do or where we live, just as long as we can always be together.
Cliff and Nina. So they got divorced when Nina was cheating on Cliff with Steve. She was trying to make things work with him for a long time and realized she wasn't that interested. They broke up. So now Nina's here pretending her car broke down so that she can seduce Cliff and
Oh,
hopefully win him back.
not a very convincing performance, I have to say. Pretty coy. What I'm seeing here, just a very like, oh, can I use your phone? Oh, it doesn't work. Whatever I just saw there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So he's like, okay, I'll wait here while you call a cab. And she's like, oh no, they're closed.
Oh shucks. And
And
that
then, yeah.
her back that was like, ooh, oh, he's wearing a back now.
And he's like, I'll drive you home or I'll have I'll call another friend to pick you up. She's like, no, 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 I'll just stay here. It's really not going her way, this seduction. So that's them. So we have Tom. Tom's married to Brooke. They're happily married in their new house, but Tom's bro Gil is living with them, and they're always broing out together, watching the football games and drinking beer. And Gil's like, "Should you maybe hang out with your wife some?" And Tom's like, "No, she likes it when I'm relaxed." So they're broing out. Hopefully, no problems come forth. Spoiler, they will.
Oh. Yeah, those guys look like they're gonna get into something for sure.
So you guys are both married, not to each other, obviously, but how do you feel when your husbands bro out?
I love it. I like to see him relax, just like that guy was saying. I think it's fine. I go and do my own thing from time to time, but yeah, you can throw out.
Speaking as someone whose husband is extremely busy, I definitely appreciate it when he gets to bro out because it's like he is able to let off steam and then he comes back happier and more chilled out. I actually wish I could girl out more often. Like take a piece of advice from him because more often than not, I don't do those things and I should.
Self-care is important.
So yeah, we support the bros, it sounds like. And I feel the same way. I don't girl out that much. I really don't. That's a
Mm.
change. It's an imbalance I've now discovered. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love it, but it's like it's not his fault.
Oh,
It's entirely due to me.
exactly.
Our last thing is Erica Chandler, and he's the nephew of Adam Chandler, a character who's part of two different big soapy storylines next year. She's met this new rich guy. His uncle Adam wants to make a movie out of her autobiography.
Oh.
And she's addicted to fame, so she's loving this idea.
Love Erica. Erica Smash forever.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yes, buy our merch. Winners and losers of the week. I can't give it to Jesse and Angie because they did a kidnapping, but I'll give it to Frankie because he's back with his parents, which is where he wants to be. So baby Frankie, their little baby, is kidnapped by people who love.
Whoever is getting their autobiography turned into a movie, that is
Er-
a winning right there.
Erica.
Erica,
Erica.
Erica's winning.
She's usually winning. She's
Mhm.
usually winning. Give it to Liza's mom for being like, no, I'm not going to be blackmailed, and my daughter loves you, and I didn't know this, and I'm just gonna like break this stuff off. That's like a winning move right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with Tad. I'm not gonna succumb to your blackmail. You're right.
And loser of the week, Chad. He got dumped by both women. Both women dumped him. He didn't get any money out of it.
And he deserved it so badly.
Yeah, he was behaving badly. And so in that way, he's also a loser. So loser of the week is Tad. I have no problem saying that.
hmm Agreed. I mean, like I was kind of going loser of the week, the couple that does the kidnapping, but they had like a goodish reason. So I'm sticking with Tad as loser of the week.
Is
All
that
three
good?
for Tad.
Yeah, good. Good. Well, I want to say thank you to my co-hosts, Ashley Jones, Sadie Teal. Thank you, ladies, so much for everything. All right. Well,
Well, bye.
bye. Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.